This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jinks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was a traveling tribute to 9/11 first responders that made a stop in Moses Lake. Reporter Devin Higgins was there and has the story.
The Moses Lake Fire Department and Grant County Fire District 5 were in downtown Moses Lake Monday, hoisting the stars and stripes to welcome a fellow firefighter and a 9/11 first responder. Retired New York City firefighter John Turkis was among the many first responders who were at the World Trade Center on September 11th. Since retiring, he's become an ambassador for the Stephen Siller Foundation, which is partnering with Carpet One stores across the country and raising money for the Building for America's Bravest Foundation. The money goes to helping build smart homes for military service people who suffered catastrophic and life-changing injuries in combat. Using wireless networking and customizing it to each veteran's needs, the homes provide veterans a chance to be independent and eases the burden on families and caretakers. Turkis was in Moses Lake to promote the program and to present a special delivery to Eric Skog, owner of Skog Brothers Carpet One and Flooring.
Thank you. And explaining what this is, John?
This is a piece of steel from the Trade Center.
Okay.
That has been manufactured for the shadow box.
Okay. Well, we will proudly display it here in our store, and again, we're very proud to be part of this wonderful endeavor with the foundation and Mohawk. So thank you.
Thank you.
Turkis talked about the tour and the response he's received.
Well, after the 9/11 attacks, the whole country came together to support those who were affected, like us back in New York, by the attacks. And you never know who they were, but now that I'm getting around the country, I'm getting to see the faces and the people who actually helped us out during our time of need. And basically, the Siller Foundation just wants to give back now to these brave young Americans who are coming back from war. Some of them who have joined the service in response to the 9/11 attacks. So anything we give them back, a little bit of their independence, having lost limbs and whatnot, you know, we're going to do the best we can to help them a little more independent life.
Skog Brothers manager John Wilson said he was glad to host the event and also to show some appreciation for the firefighters here in Grant County.
Oh, these guys, I mean, Grant County 5 mostly made up of volunteers. Pretty awesome. The city fire guys, they work 24-hour, 48-hour shifts straight and to save our lives and to get them involved and to say, hey, yeah, we'll do that, huge. Huge, because they get very little recognition, to be honest with you. So hopefully they'll get a little recognition in this as well, as long as it's a guy from New York. 9/11
could have happened anywhere. I mean, it happened in New York, but it could happen anywhere. So all of these first responders all over the country are ready, willing, and able to help out in any way they can if it were to happen near them. So basically, we're the same. It's just that we work in different areas.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
In Soap Lake, voters had the chance to learn more about an annexation measure for Grant County Fire District 7 to provide fire services for the city. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
Soap Lake residents can learn more about Grant County Fire District 7 providing fire protection to the city on October 15th. District Chief Kirk Shepard and Mayor Raymond Gravel are going to talk about a measure allowing the fire district to annex the city during a meeting starting at 7 p.m. at the Soap Lake Senior Center. If the city is annexed by the fire district, property owners would pay the district about 75 cents per $1,000 of the assessed value of their property. In return, the fire district would be responsible for fighting fires in the city limits. Currently, the city is served by a volunteer fire department, which has gone through 3 fire chiefs in the past 3 years. The department is struggling with attracting volunteers and maintaining up-to-date firefighting equipment. Fire District 7 has a paid fire chief, a full contingent of volunteer firefighters, and equipment that meets state standards. People can ask questions of the mayor and the chief about the possible annexation during the meeting. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Other segments brought to you by Berry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at your weather headlines. We are going to see a frontal system will make its way in here tonight and into tomorrow, causing showers, windy weekend, and gusty winds. There is a wind threat. I'll let you know more about that in your 7-day outlook. Almanac for us here in Ephrata. We reached a low right around 46. Nothing in the way of precip. The sun is going to set for us here in Ephrata at 6:36. The record high was 85 degrees. The record low of 32, set back in 2002. Moses Lake, they saw a record high set back in 1988 of 83 and the record low back in 1999 of 37. Nothing in the way of precip. Sun's going to set for them right around 6:35. Ooh, they reached a low of 43 degrees this morning. Right now outside, when you step outside your door, it's a lovely 76 degrees. Partly cloudy skies. You still have that sun coming in and the wind blowing in from the west, northwest. Futurecast models are going to show that wind and also the light weak front in the way of precip, but we are going to see winds that'll definitely continue to be a factor. Here's a look at your model here, our Futurecast model showing these showers and storms are going to be very isolated showers. Winter precip up to the north. That's not going to affect us at all. We are, however, going to see winds that'll come in, and those will be strong at times. Wind gusts are going to be up to 40 miles an hour, and we also do have that threat for blowing dust. Again, showers will be very light in nature. Just don't forget that umbrella before you head out. And then by the time you get into your Saturday afternoon, conditions will get better. And then Sunday, we're going to see a great weekend in store. Temperatures 77 Yakima, Long Beach 68, and into the inland northwest, temperatures into the upper 60s and lower 70s. As we zoom in here for you in Ephrata, 76. Sunny skies, Moses Lake as well, 76, and 76 also up towards Bridgeport. Great weather conditions. We are going to have, though, a chance for showers and thunderstorms in the morning, but however, once 1:30 rolls around, will be clear and dry. Forecast as I see it, we're going to call for a 20% chance of showers in the morning time frame. Those will then linger on. Winds will kick in, especially into Sunday. This is where we do have that threat for blowing dust into Sunday because we are going to have strong winds that'll come in, and we are going to see wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Here's a look at your remaining forecast. We're going to see great conditions for the work week. Tuesday, 79, 76 by the time Wednesday rolls around, and by the time Thursday and Friday roll around, temperatures right around the mid-70s. Lows are going to get cooler, starting off in the 50s, and then dropping down into the 40s. Thanks for watching, and now let's go ahead and tear it over to sports is next.
Paying your Grant PUD bill with ePay is like getting free cuts in line. You pay when you want, how you want. Get free cuts in line with Grant PUD ePay. Visit grantpud.org.
Oh, dude, I'm just in the theater. It's totally cool.
Ah.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Warden matched up with Walook in 2B soccer action Tuesday, and it was the Cougars coming up big at home.
Warden played an unwelcoming host to Walook Tuesday, shutting out the Warriors 5-0 on the pitch. The Cougars, under new head coach Hannah Mose, dominated first-half possession and the scoreboard with 3 first-half goals. The margin could have been a wider spread as Warden misfired on a handful of shots over the first 15 minutes of the fuss. Jennifer Mendoza struck first for the Cougars. Brenna Whitney tickled the Walook net after a couple Warden misses and a save or two by the Warriors' keeper to put the Cougars up 2-0. Heidi Gonzalez made it 3-0 on a goal late in the first half. The Cougars tacked on second-half goals from Alexis Gonzalez and Whitney, and the rout was on. Warden moves to 4-2-1 in Central Washington 2B play with the win. The Cougars hit the pavement to Granger Thursday for a non-league match with the 1A Spartans.
The Lady Vikings hosted Columbia Basin College in NWAC volleyball action Wednesday.
It was a big conference showdown for Big Bend hosting Columbia Basin. The Vikes were looking to notch their first league victory under first-year head coach Joni Nagy. The Lady Hawks jumped out to an early lead in the first set with aggressive attacking play, winning 25-13. The Lady Vikings gave great effort in the second set, but a late run by Columbia Basin put them on top 25-16. A back-and-forth third set was eventually won by Columbia Basin 25-23, taking the match in 3 straight sets. Mackenzie Monahan was the MVP for Columbia Basin, recording 10 kills and 21 assists. Emily Botkeen also had a nice match for the Lady Hawks with 6 kills and 16 assists. Kelly Foth recorded 9 kills, 30 assists, and 7 digs for Big Bend. Brooke Sorensen had 6 kills and 19 assists for the Vikings. The loss moves Big Bend to 0-4 in conference play with a 6-13 overall record. The Lady Vikings are back on the road Friday at Blue Mountain.
It was a battle for first place in Big 9 soccer action when Moses Lake took on West Valley on the pitch at Lions Field Wednesday evening.
Moses Lake took one on the chin on the pitch last night, dropping a 4-0 fuss to West Valley. The Rams not only dominated the scoreboard, they owned possession in both halves as they held the Chiefs at bay. West Valley got on the board midway through the first period when Jordan Carnes offered up this pooch kick over an onrushing Chiefs keeper who left the box wide open. Moses Lake threatened late in the first half but wasn't able to convert. The Rams, Kendra Hanses, got possession and sprinted down the Chiefs sideline past all would-be defenders and rocketed a shot deep into the Moses Lake net. Things didn't get any better for the Chiefs in second half action as West Valley tacked on 2 more goals to win in a cakewalk. The loss drops Moses Lake to 3-1 in conference play and 1 game back of the undefeated Rams. The Chiefs are back on the pitch Saturday in Yakima to match up with the Davis Pirates.
Basin football action has Ephrata on the road at Grandview. Quincy takes on the Wildcats in Toppenish. Warden travels to Lake Roosevelt. Royal battles it out with the Warriors in Walook. Elmira Cooley Heartline is at Pateros, and we'll be bringing you the live broadcast of the Moses Lake Post Falls game from Lions Field. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Well, have a great weekend, and if the opportunity presents itself, get out and root on your favorite high school football team. Players and coaches will appreciate your support. We'll be back after this short break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
The Dodge brothers' competitive spirit and engineering prowess started long before they built their first car, and will continue long after their latest, the most technologically advanced vehicle in its class.
Our next story is about the owner of More Furniture in Ephrata, who is training to compete in the Ironman World Championships later this month. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
At 51 years old, Kelly Moore of Ephrata has the lean, muscular body of an athlete half his age. But Moore, who owns More Furniture in Ephrata, says it wasn't always like that. In 2006, his relatively sedentary lifestyle of playing in a rock band, drinking beer, and video gaming came to an end.
About 6 months later, I looked at myself in the mirror one morning and I was out of shape and overweight, and started to have spider veins showing up in my cheeks. And I was only 43 years old, and I decided that wasn't the way I wanted to do this. Life's too short to go through being at a health risk, and I had kids that were expecting me to be there at their weddings someday, and I got commitments, and I decided I needed to make a change.
He bought a Walmart mountain bike and befriended Jake Medke, leader of the area cycling group Vicious Cycle. Together they started seriously cycling and mountain biking. Moore then bought some running shoes and ran. He started seriously swimming.
And then I heard about this triathlon thing, which I'd known about, but I really hadn't looked into much. I thought that looked kind of fun. So there was a race up in Chelan. It was a sprint distance, so it was only an 11-minute swim. It was a 12-mile bike ride and a 3-mile run. And I got third in my age group. And I was so excited. I had so much fun doing that I just went right straight from there into a half Ironman distance. Everything got easier, it seemed like, even just playing with my kids.
Today, Moore is among an elite worldwide force of Ironman triathletes who swim, bike, and run thousands of miles a year to stay in shape for the big events. Moore competes in the Ironman World Championship on October 10th in Kona, Hawaii. It is his 17th Ironman and his 34th marathon. It's his first World Championship, and he got in through the Ironman Legacy program. It gives dedicated competitors such as Moore, who has long competed in regional and national events, a shot at the World Championship. Moore can be found swimming in Deep Lake at Dry Falls State Park, his wife Janice not far behind him in a kayak. He can be seen running along the roads of Ephrata and biking at speeds only competitive racing cyclists can achieve. What is a triathlon? Moore explained.
The swim distance is 2.4 miles, which is hard for people to wrap their head around because a lot of people don't get distance with swimming very good. But it's doing the freestyle stroke for me for about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes straight without stopping. And then we get on the bike and we do a 112-mile bike ride, which is, the equivalent of from here to Spokane. And a lot of those, they like to design courses that aren't flat and easy either, so they'll have, the last one I did had 5,000 feet of climbing in it too. Then we get off the bike and we get to do a full marathon after that. That's when you find out what you're made of.
Why does he still compete now that he's a senior?
There's times where my body's reminding me that I'm not, in my 30s or 40s anymore.
Janice, once a triathlete herself, now prefers cheering her husband on and enjoys traveling and vacationing at race locations. What's it like being the wife of a triathlete?
He works out a lot, so our family has adapted to that. We eat healthier than we ever used to. I think we're lucky that we work together because I talk to other wives that get a little frustrated maybe with the training time. I think the fact that we work together makes it easier for me to be okay with him being out for all the hours that he's out and about on the roads.
Janice and their daughters, Laura, Holly, and Sarah, are to join their Ironman husband and father in Kona. Moore shared what he expects to experience at the Kona World Championship.
I'm going to be standing on the beach with 2,000 of the fittest people on our planet. and I'm just a furniture guy. So it's going to be a little intimidating.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber 1 News.
We'll be right back.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Welcome back. The next story is about the first Get Here event at Big Bend Community College, combining 3 events in one to help people land a job. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Big Bend Community College was the place to be if you wanted to find a job or a vocational education to land a job. The college put on its first fall higher education resources employment event, also called Get Here, at the Advanced Technologies Education Center. The event was organized by Big Bend's Career Services Outreach and Recruitment and Workforce Education Services departments. About a dozen universities were represented. Heidi Summers, Director of Workforce Education Services at the college, described the event.
This event is a combination of the old fall job fair that we used to have at Big Bend, along with community resources that we're working to promote for students.
Summers explained why the event that drew hundreds of students was organized.
As part of our Working Families Success Network initiative, we're trying to bring more community resources to students so they can take advantage of services in the community, state agencies, as well as community organizations to help them be successful as students, to mitigate those financial or other challenges that they're having in terms of transportation and health care. Hopefully they can see if they would qualify for food benefits, get part-time jobs, and all kinds of things like that.
Represented at the event were Grant County employers and a number of tables with people who could talk about the college's vocational education options. They range from welding to nursing to automotive technology.
Manufacturing, we have some retail, some healthcare. The police department is here, as well as the school district, so government agencies. So it's a combination of the higher education, the Big Bend programs, the four-year university transfer, the employment, and then the community resources. Instead of doing a couple of different events through the fall and getting some of the same folks and everything, we decided to make it one really big event.
The event gave students a chance to learn more about organizations and services that they might not otherwise know existed.
It was kind of a joint venture through my department. A couple of people who work in my department, Monica Medrano and Bonnie Jeffrey, as well as our recruitment and outreach coordinator, Rita Ramirez, put this all together. So it's a combination of the higher education, the Big Bend programs, the four-year university transfer, the employment, and then the community resources.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber 1 News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about the annual Harvest Festival in Wilson Creek on Saturday. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
People can help fund class activities during the annual Wilson Creek Harvest Festival on Saturday. Activities begin at 8 a.m. with a 5K fun run starting at the school commons on 400 Navarre Street. Registration forms can be found on the school's website at wilsoncreek.org. Proceeds from the race will benefit the American Cancer Society. A parade will head through downtown starting at 10:30 a.m., and the festival continues at the town park on Railroad Street. Organizers said there will be food, live music, pumpkin picking, a quilt show, the cow pie plop, and children's games. A community dance is planned from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the school, and all ages are welcome. A DJ and concessions will be provided. Students from the Wilson Creek School District organize the annual festival, and many of the activities generate revenue to fund class activities. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.